Welcome to another episode of Business by the Bar by Security Owners Group, where we talk a little bit about whiskey and a lot about business. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Gemba, which is a process named after a Japanese word, which means go to the place. A little bit more on that here in a minute. First, I want to talk about the whiskey, okay? I've got a little bit of a strange choice for me today. It's JTS Brown, bottled in bond. There's a few reasons why I chose this whiskey for today's talk because it'll make sense shortly. But one, it's from Kentucky, which is going to be a big part of what I'm talking about today. Two, it's a very old distillery from 1855, and three, it's bottled in bond, which means it has to undergo a lot of limitations and restrictions on how it can be distilled and bottled, by who and when and all that stuff. So pour a little bit of that in there. That is really good. No wonder people like that so much. So, all right, I want to talk a little about Gemba. But first, I'm going to tell you why I started thinking about this in the last week. I had the pleasure of meeting an individual who owns a security company, big surprise, in Kentucky. The business is Silent Guard, and this guy's name is Taylor Sears. And I will tell you that I am hugely impressed and have a lot of admiration for what he's been able to do with that company and how well it runs, how quickly it's grown with accountability and with results. So truly impressive. If you are an end user, you have a different kind of business and you're in Kentucky and you need a security system, give this guy and his team a call because truly, truly top notch. But here's what is important about this. When he went into the business, which was started by his parents, he didn't jump in and say, I have all these great ideas I want to do. Here's how we're going to do this. Here's how we're going to fix that. We're going to do this other thing. No. Brilliant, brilliant move by Taylor. He went and visited other security companies. He went and visited vendors, distributors, manufacturers. He even went and visited central stations and sat down with them and looked at what they were doing. And he did this. I don't know if he knew he was following Gemba or not, but it's essentially the process to the T. Now that process, I'll get into it a little bit here in a minute because one, I want to keep you watching the video, but two, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the neuroses we as business owners have, right? We walk into a situation and we feel this pressure of having to have the right answer, of having to know what the right thing to do is and knowing what the best next step is, right? And at the end of the day, when your business is growing beyond yourself and beyond a small team and is moving to be a self-sustainable business, we don't have all the answers. And not having the answers is actually much better for your business because it won't become shackled to you and your mindset and your thought process. So be comfortable with not having the answers. But how you get the answers is usually by being selfless and not trying to solve the problem, but trying to understand what causes the problem. How do we get to that point? Gemba is a huge help in this because the way that the process works is to go to the place. So if you're having a problem with your sales team, with a salesperson, you go observe your sales team, your salesperson. You go watch them do a demo. You go watch them have a conversation with a client. You watch them put together the quote. You don't do it for them. You don't solve the problem. And if they make a mistake in your eyes, you let them make it because it may lead to a better answer than what you're used to getting, okay? If anything, you ask why. And you do so without judgment. Why are you doing it that way? What's your thought process in how you came to where you got? You don't solve, you don't change it. You don't tell them they're wrong. You don't tell them they're right. You just observe out of genuine curiosity, okay? Same with your installers. If your installers are on site and you drop by and take a look, spend an hour with them. Stay out of the way, watch what they're doing. And if you have any questions, limit it to one. Why? Why are you doing it that way? I'm curious. Make sure you're not making them think that you're questioning why they're doing it. You just want to know why, okay? That's what Taylor did. He went to all of these different places and then he very carefully and slowly compiled a plan and presented it to his parents and made a compelling case. The end result, after a lot of work, guys, this is a lot of work. It's not like you just watch something and boom, the idea comes to your head and then it magically gets implemented. No, this guy put in a ton of work. And he had to have buy-in from a lot of employees and a lot of people, many of which who had been in the industry considerably longer than he had. But he got that buy-in and he did the work. And then when it wasn't quite right, he adjusted and he tweaked and he, I'm sure multiple times threw processes into the trash can because they didn't work the first time and started from scratch. But the one thing I got from listening to him talk is that every time he asked why and he observed before jumping to a conclusion. So keep that in mind. Gemba will help you to solve problems, okay? If you have a large company, a large security company, I would advise you to spend some time with your people observing, okay? Ask why and listen carefully to what they say. And then spend some time marinating on that and listening to what your notes were, what you heard from your people when they said, here's why I do things this way, here's how I'm doing it. And try to find the holes on your own time, not with them. Try to find the holes in the processes and where the potholes are and where things can be better, okay? If you have a small company, I would strongly advise to spend some time watching other companies, okay? Whether you're watching them do an install and they don't know you're there, whether you're watching what they've already done when you lost a project to someone, whether you're actually calling up other owners and showing up and spending a day with them, something that I still do on a regular basis. It's one of the biggest advantages of the mastermind groups that I run is we're going to spend 4 days a year in somebody else's security company, and you get to ask why and how and see the place in person and talk to their employees. And it's really, really eye-opening for both the person whose company we go see and the person who's watching somebody else's company, okay? Gemba, do a little bit of research on it, use it where it's appropriate. It is a huge tool that will open your eyes to things you may not see in your own business, okay? And above all, be driven by curiosity. Use that process and continue to ask why, genuinely curious as to why people do things and if there is a better way than what you naturally come up with in your head. Because trust me, you don't want to have all the right answers all the time, okay? Good luck. I wish you the best. Happy holidays. Obviously, it's right around Christmas time, so I'm wearing my ugly sweater. I don't know if you can see it, but it's Santa Claus riding on a T-Rex. All right. Enjoy yourselves. I hope everybody had a wonderful year, and here's to a fantastic 2023. Even though you may be watching this, I don't know, 2-3 years from now, and it's still relevant. Thank you.